Okay, this is from my friend Jon Titchenal, who has died. This is the foreword to my book from many years ago, Midwest UFOs and Beyond. Not a title that I picked, the publisher did. This recording is an attempt to preserve some of Jon's writings in audio form. And this is called The Footsteps of the Mystery. Here we go. We lie cheek and jowl with the unknown. It's a part of our everyday existence, a theme more powerful and universal than any we create for ourselves. It's so omnipresent, in fact, that we have a hard time seeing it. You know how farmers who work with chickens will eventually stop noticing the smell of the chicken coop? Same with us, only more so. Not only do we not notice the miasma of the unknown about us, we've forgotten there ever was anything there in the first place. From grade school onward, we are fed a line of comforting patter, by science, by religion, by the endlessly prattling voice of the television. Everything is explainable, everything is understood. Anything we don't understand, we have experts working on, so don't worry about it. We'll probably explain it tomorrow. No. A rational, explainable universe? Give me a break. We don't know where we come from or what lies beyond the zygote. We don't know where we go to or what lies beyond the pine box. We don't know why we fall asleep at night or how we wake up again in the morning. We don't know what our dreams are or why they happen. And of course, we don't have a clue about the biggest question of all. Why everything? Ancient peoples had shamans' importance to interpret the inexplicable. The Greeks had their gods meddling in the world of mortals. Even in the Middle Ages, we had demons and witchcraft to point to when things went all strange. But now, in this modern world, we have done away with all of those things. We no longer have a framework with which to deal with the mysterious, and instead of rectifying this problem, we've spent the last 3 centuries pretending it doesn't exist, like a child hiding under the blankets in the belief that anything we can't see isn't there. And yet, imagine it, you're walking along a country road late at night. You see a strange light in the sky that seems to be behaving oddly, moving in ways no airplane would ever move. It comes closer. Strange thoughts begin bubbling up in your mind, surreal and nonsensical thoughts that don't seem to come from you at all. Everything seems full of a significance that you can almost understand. Everything about to open up like some marvelous lotus. You find yourself a mile down the road. You look at your watch and realize that 3 hours have passed, 3 hours that you cannot remember. You stagger home, fall into bed, and by the next morning it seems distant and unreal, almost like something that happened to someone else, or something you may have seen in a movie. We have no framework, no language for these kinds of things, and yet they happen every day. Visions and trances, synchronicity and eerie connections, unsettling bumps in the nighttime of our subconscious. Terence McKenna breaking into DMT space and finding a world of living machines. Philip K. Dick lying stunned on his bed, struck by a beam of pure information from an orbiting source. Robert Anton Wilson staring in wonder at his own television. And how are you tonight, Mr. Wilson? You can't be serious. Jim Keith, the conspiracy writer, coins his eponymous law. All conspiracy authors must die under unusual circumstances. In 1999, at the Burning Man Festival, he falls down and breaks his leg, has to go in for surgery. He confesses to his friends that he is afraid to be put under for this fairly ordinary surgery, that he will somehow die. He claims he did a tarot reading and the cards came out all wrong. During the operation, a blood clot is released in his leg, and he dies there on the operating table, another victim of the very law he gave a name to. Something weird is going on here. People have been seeing strange things in the sky, communicating with strange entities, and having inexplicable experiences for as long as human history can record. The Celtic countries speak of changelings, little people who steal babies and replace them with withered imitations. 300 years later, a rash of people claim aliens stole the fetuses from their wombs. The UFO community is obsessed with alien-human hybrids. People are abducted by beings that convey information that seems so important, so vital, if only they could remember what it was. The other has always been with us, the unnamed something waiting behind the door. It has always been a source of fear because, as H.P. Lovecraft so aptly pointed out, the most powerful kind of fear is fear of the unknown, the unspeakable thing that lies beyond the veil. Ghosties and ghoulies and long-legged beasties and things that go bump in the night. Things that go bump in the night. We could turn away from all this easily enough, and most people do. Apart from campfire stories and Halloween night, no one wants to hear spooky tales, and no one ever wants to hear spooky tales that don't make sense. Alan Moore, the author, once ran into a character he had created, DC Comics occultist John Constantine, in a sandwich bar in Westminster. Constantine looked at Moore and smiled and walked away. What is anyone to make of that? What about the woman who reported a UFO and claimed she knew it was a UFO because it had UFO written on the underside of it? We can turn away, but that doesn't make the other go away. In the quiet hours of the night, we wake in the dark and remember who we are. We remember how scary it was outside the firelight, how dark. We remember how the bigger we built the bonfire, the more darkness we uncovered, and something seemed to be out there. Something not us. And yet, as many of our problems as a race evolve from our fear of the new, the unknown, the alien, psychologist Carl Jung claimed that the UFO represented a symbol of wholeness, a Mandelic representation of our own alienation from ourselves. Our darkness, our mystery. Whatever it is, it's been with us since the very beginning, and if we're ever to grow up as a race, we must confront it, not to understand it, but to claim the mystery as our own, our mystery, our darkness, become the other. I know it's dark out there. Don't be afraid. Take my hand, we'll go together. Quote, we have been to the moon. We have charted the depths of the ocean and the heart of the atom, but we have a fear of looking inward to ourselves because we sense that is where all the contradictions flow together. And that was said by Terence McKenna.